students, welcome to this session. In this session, we are going to discuss the topic called as two-dimensional array. So this is the fourth chapter. In the fourth chapter, we have already discussed one-dimensional representation, and I have already explained the topics like insertion, deletion, as well as traversal. Okay. Now coming to this topic, so this is two-dimensional array representation. Already you know two-dimensional array is when the elements are stored in both rows and columns, then that is represented as two-dimensional array. Okay. Now when you consider representation of array, so the basic thing you need to know is, first thing, the memory will be always, it will be sequential location. Okay, so the memory, whatever you want to use, it will be stored in a sequential order, that is one after the other. There is no concept of two-dimension, three-dimension or multi-dimension when you are considering any kind of memory. So memory will be always, it will be stored in a sequential order, that is one after the other. When you consider the representation of arrays, if you consider two-dimensional array, we are going to write something like this. If I write integer a of 2 cross 2 in the sense, we are going to write 2 rows or 2 columns. So that we are going to represent in terms of a square where it will contain 1, 1, 2 and 2. So this will be representing the first element, and this will be representing the second element. Likewise, the first row, first column, similarly second row, second column. Okay, now here I can write any element like 20, 40, 16 and 70, some elements like this. Now if I want to access any element, the array name is A. If I want to access 16, we will be writing A of 2, 1, where 2 will be representing the row and 1 will be representing the column. Okay, so likewise we used to access in our programming language. The same thing will not happen when you are storing into memory. When you are storing into memory, what happens is, this value or whatever value you are going to store, it will be stored in a sequential order. It is one after the other. That is, I can store 20, 40, then it is going to store 16 and 70. But while accessing, we will be accessing by using these index values. So whenever you are storing the elements into the memory, the main thing you need to understand is it will be stored in a sequence, that is, it will be stored in an order. Okay, so how it is represented in memory? When you are going to do two-dimensional array, or whenever you are going to create two-dimensional array, how it is going to be represented in memory? So it is going to be represented in two ways. One is called as column major order. So it is called as column major order, and other one is called as row major order. So column major order or row major order. So how it is represented is, when I consider column major order, if I take the same example of an array with 2 rows and 2 columns, I have 20, 40 and 16 and 70. So when I say column major order, example of this array, in column major order we are going to store column wise. See, first column once and then second column once. So we are going to store first 20, next we are going to store 16, and then it is going to store 40, and then it is going to store 70. That is, we are going to store first the first column, and then we'll go for the second column. First, the first column elements will be stored into memory, and then it will be followed by the second column elements. So this is about how the element will store if you are using column major order. The same thing if you are using row major order. If you are using row major order, it is going to store row by row. If it is going to store row by row, I am going to get 20, then you are going to get 40, then 16, and it will be followed by 17. So we are going to have, this is like A of 1, 1, and this is A of 1, 2. This is A of that is 2, 1. Okay, 2, 1 again. Next, this is A of 1, 2, and this is A of 2, 2 for column major order. For row major order, first A of 1, 1, second A of 1, 2, then again A of 2, 1, and at last A of 2, 2. So this is how the elements will be stored in row major order. Okay. So now we'll see what is the use of this and how to access the elements when you are using row major order, and how to access the elements when you are using column major order. We shall continue with the topic. The topic is regarding representation of two-dimensional array. So as we discussed, we have two types of representation. One is row major order, other one is column major order. So first we discuss column major order. So column major order. So in column major order, if I consider an example of a 2 cross 2 matrix, a 2 cross 2 matrix or 2-dimensional array, which will be having the elements like 15, 20, 14 and 17. And as you know, we have first element, second element, first element, second element, or we can consider first row, second row, which is nothing but row, and these are like columns. Okay, first column and second column. So when you represent in column major order, we are going to first represent column wise. That is, first we are going to insert the first column into the memory. Next we will go for second column. So the first element will be 15, second element will be 14, third element will be 20, and the fourth element will be 17. Now the array elements will be like, or if you consider this as an array name is A, and if you have 2 cross 2, so we are going to represent it as, first element will be represented as A of first row, first column. Second element is second row, first column. So second row, first column. Third element is A of first row, second column. Fourth element is A of second row, second column. So this is how that will be stored in the memory. So when you are representing, or when the data is stored in column major order, when 2-dimensional array is stored in the form of column major order, in that case the elements will be stored in this type. So we have a formula to find address of any element. So if I want to find any element's address, we need two things. Like if I want to access any 2-dimensional array element, we need two indexes. One represents the row, one represents the column. So similarly, we have two things, that is two indexes. One is called as j, other one is called as k, where j will be representing the row and k will be representing the column. Now after this, if I want to find any element's address, we need a row address or row index as well as column index. Then it will be followed by the base value. Base value is the starting address. We can consider it as base address also. And it will be followed by w, which will represent word length, or it is also called as width. And again, it will be followed by m. M will be representing, as I told you, we have two things, m as well as n. M will be representing number of rows and n will be representing number of columns. So number of rows in the array is 2 and number of columns is also 2. So m, and it will be followed by k minus 1 plus j minus 1. So this will be the formula for finding the address of any element in the 2-dimensional array when I am using column major order. Suppose I want to find the address of 20. Consider I have the first element's address as, or base address as 2000. So 2000 is a base address, which is nothing but a starting address. Next, I want to find the address of 20. I don't know what is the address of 20. So I need to find the address. In that case, I need this index value. So what is that? 1 as well as 2. So j will be acting as 1 and k will be acting as 2. Okay. Now, what is the base address we have? Base address we have as 2000. And width, the word length, we are going to represent it as 1. So word length is 1. So 2. M will be represented by 2 because the number of rows we have is 2. Followed by k value is what? 2. That is 2 minus 1 plus j is 1. So 1 minus 1. So if I calculate this, I will get 2 into 1 plus 0. So that is nothing but I am going to get 2. So that is number 2 into 1, again I am going to get 2 plus 2000. So which is nothing but 2002. So this will be the address of this element. So I am going to get the address as 2002. That is, this will be 2001 and this will be 2002 and later we will have 2003. So this is an example, or this part is important regarding the formula. You need to consider an example and need to explain with that formula. Okay, so this is about column major order. So next, similarly, we are going to have one more type of representation, which is called as row major order. We are going to have row major order. In row major order, I will take the same example, and the representation will change. How the representation will change? Because in row major order, we are going to store the data in terms of row wise, first row and then it will be followed by second row. So when the elements are stored into the data or into the memory, we are going to store row wise. That is, first I am going to get 15, next it will be 20, next we are going to have 14, and after that we are going to have 17. Row wise, first row and then it will be followed by second row. So first A of 1, 1, first row, first column. Next A of first row, second column. Next A of second row, first column. A of second row, second column. Okay, so you can represent any number of elements like this. Again, the formula will change a bit. Only thing is, instead of m, we are going to make it as n, and this will be j, and this will be k. So this is the formula to find the address of element when it is stored in row major order. In this case, now the same thing, if I consider the base address as 3000, if I consider the base address of 3000, suppose I want to find the address of this 14th element, the element 14, I need to find the address, and in that case j will be what? J will be 2 and k will be 1. Okay, now again if I try to calculate this, base value is 3000 plus width is 1, number of columns we have is 2, and j value is 2 minus 1 plus k value is 1 minus 1. So this will be again same thing, 0 plus 1 into 2, which is nothing but 2. 2 into 1, again we will get the value as 2 itself. So after this we are going to add this with 3000, so it will be 3002. So that is, we are going to have the address as 3001 and this will be followed by 3002. So that is our address. Okay, so at the address of 14th element. So similarly, whenever you are having more than 100 or 200 elements, in that case, if you want to find the address, we'll be using these kind of formulas to find the address of a given element by using the index of that particular element. Okay, so that is about this representation. And from this chapter, we have completed all the topics. We have completed insertion, deletion, traversal, one-dimensional representation, and two-dimensional representation. In this chapter, the important topics are insertion, deletion, both algorithm and program. Program you can find it on the PDF notes what I have sent, and we have representation, which is one of the important topic from this chapter called as arrays. Okay, so that is about chapter 4. So that is about chapter 4. If you have any doubts, we can have an online session. So this completes your chapter 4. I'll be posting the assignments for both chapter 3, chapter 2, chapter 3 and chapter 4. And after this, we'll continue with the 5th chapter. Thank you.